Hey guys, it's your host Davion. Welcome to another episode of Consciouztv. You already know what we're here to talk about, and before we do, make sure you comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell and hit all when you do so that you can keep up with all of my latest uploads. You can also donate to the show if you want at my Cash App, which is $Consciouztv, or you can PayPal me at paypal.me/consciouztv, and you can also email me at consciouztv@gmail.com. I respond to all emails. Let's get into it. So hi guys, this is a requested video due to a post in my community feed a few days ago, and the perfect situation occurred today to act as a catalyst to this requested video. But before we get into that, I want to shout out Dolores for your Cash App donation. I greatly appreciate all of the acts of love and gratitude for my content and me as an individual. People underestimate how hard it is to actually be a content creator and to be an army of one, doing all of your own edits, making all of your own decisions regarding the direction of your channel and what content to do, as well as putting oneself before the world stage to be criticized and loved for what one brings to the table. It is a lot sometimes. So having you guys support, whether it's through viewership, subscribing, sharing, or donating to the show, it helps to maintain my motivation and a positive spirit, because giving yourself away again and again and again isn't easy. So thank you, Dolores, for being reciprocal, and it is a donation that will be well spent. And thank all of you who have supported and donated to the show in the past. I greatly appreciate it. I also want to give a special shout out to Olivia the Oracle. Y'all go over and check her page out. She's another wonderful content creator who's divinely connected and also with the shits. Y'all know I love spiritual people who can do both. She certainly can. I'll leave her information in the description box below as well. Y'all make sure y'all go and check her out, check out her content, and support the growth of her channel by subscribing. Now, I posted in my community feed a few days ago and asked you guys what you wanted to talk about. And LiveWLiyah, who is another content creator, her information will be in the description box below. She asked me, could I speak about the hypocrisy within the black community regarding how we use abusive language, insults, and demeaning behavior toward one another as a tactic to persuade each other's vote and opinion on any given subject. And I thought this topic was a perfect catalyst for some of the recent events surrounding actor Malik Yoba's controversy, who recently came out about his attraction to trans women, which was followed by a trans woman coming forward about how Malik Yoba allegedly solicited her for sex while she was still underage, particularly 13 years old. Now, a lot of people naturally have already gone to choosing a side in the matter, and what has begun to happen is that people who are allies and queer themselves have chosen to automatically believe this trans woman despite her having nothing to corroborate her story but her own words. And those people who are bashing and berating any persons who is doing anything less, including staying neutral until further notice, are doing just that, bashing and berating. Now, what's fascinating to me is that despite us living in a society where Jussie Smollett just embarrassed us all because we were quick to believe the hate crime he alleged happened to him on the strength of his queerness alone, and despite Quantisha Sharpton's lying on Usher about giving her herpes doing some after show fuck in a hotel where her pussy leaked green mucus, and despite Janice Dickinson's confessing to lying on Bill Cosby about sexual assault, there are still people who believe that people don't clout chase, when that couldn't be anything further from the fucking truth. I mean, let's go back to Quantisha Sharpton. This motherfucking buckling heel wearing motherfucker was willing to lie about having herpes just so that she could endure 15 minutes of fame that will leave her to be embarrassed for the rest of her natural born life, and confess to doing this just for the sake of being recognized. Bitch, you got people out here willing to lie on their sexual health just for a click and a view, and yet people will dismiss the possibility of a person lying just because of who they are and how well of a story they're able to concoct for your convincing. Nigga, make it make sense. I've seen these people who want to rush to allegiance to the trans woman involved call everyone else everything but a child of God because they choose to only listen to this trans woman rather than listening and forming a belief like some of them have already done. Those people who are calling those who are only choosing to listen and refrain from forming a conclusion yet are being called stupid, dumb, retarded, etc. When the same people insulting rational thinking, grounded, balanced people are actually all of the names they're calling another person. And not to mention, none of these niggas remotely have the heart to talk to you this way if they were face to face with you. So why not mind your manners online when you know your scary ass would be showing respect in person if we were all at a table together? Make the shit make fucking sense. Cause as a black community, we have a history of chasing people out of the village with our torches when they aren't conforming and exercising some individualism. And this resistance to other people thinking for themselves is a complete hypocrisy of our goddamn democracy. So let me understand this correctly. You think it's productive and conducive to call someone every type of dumb motherfucker, bitch, hoe, pussy, bastard, retard in hopes that such a approach will inspire that person to see the circumstances your way. So these are the most profound inspirational tactics you got to convince someone of your view, which is to degrade and demean that person? I'll shut up and give you some time to make it make sense to me. A lot of y'all who resort to abusive rhetoric and name calling when someone disagrees or simply has their own thoughts about a subject are the same people who openly challenge and condemn respectability politics. But let me remind you that telling someone to shut up and sit down in an attempt to silence their liberty and freedom to think critically and to think for themselves couldn't be anything less than one of the oldest respectability politics still in rotation today within the black community. You people are fucking hypocrites. You don't even practice the respect that you hold up as a mascot for your cause. You niggas are worse than the Trump administration. Berating people because they aren't impulsive and quick to draw emotional conclusions like yourself is no way to inspire, inform, and practice that inclusion so many of you preach. When you are a real intellectual, you can critique a person's thoughts without insulting the person who's thinking those thoughts. And when you don't know how to do that, it's because you're immature and lack strong perspective. So you employ the easy weapon of name calling and insulting, and that says more about you than someone who at least has a well thought out wrong conclusion. If some of you weren't so half woke and actually informed and articulate, you would actually be able to critique a person's thoughts without degrading the person with those thoughts. Being open-minded and compassionate towards people who think differently than you is necessary in the world of reason, logic, and rationale. Because the conclusions and stances we take can be due to multiple factors at work, like our own biases, emotionalism, and how much information we had at the time we went on record to make our views known. And because of that, thoughts and views are subject to change as either more information comes forward and or a person addresses their own biases, which allows for the potential for facts and corroborating evidence to present itself, which means, simply put, we're all subject to evolve and change our thoughts on a matter. Case in point, Jussie Smollett getting a overwhelming amount of support in his initial testimony of the hate crime he alleged happened to him. But as more information came forward, it led many to realize there were major inconsistencies in his account, which later came to a head when text messages between Jussie and his attackers were revealed, coupled with the fact that there was a long-standing work history between Jussie and his attackers. Now, Erykah Badu got her ass handed to her on Twitter when she persuaded everyone to initially stay calm and neutral until more information, which isn't the same as facts, but more information came forward, and had all of those who caped for Jussie initially withheld forming a belief and only played the position of listening to the alleged victim. None of those who supported Jussie initially would have had to retract their previous support for the Empire star. There's nothing, absolutely nothing wrong with staying neutral, especially when allegations are this damaging. Malik Yoba is being accused of being a pedophile, and anyone who's quick to jump on a bandwagon just so that they can look like a trans woman hero is highly immature and cannot be trusted, because that is no way to confront such life altering allegations regarding someone else, and you wouldn't appreciate the same behavior if it were your shoes to walk in. Your feelings alone are not the judge of whether something is true or not. There are people who are literally stamping this trans woman's allegations as true on the strength of them feeling like she's telling the truth. How many of you have been lied on and had those lies believed about you because people felt it was true? Your heart is deceptive, and your judgment is oftentimes made by your emotions, which makes all of you emotionally driven, emotionally reactive people the least people qualified to be trusted advisors and investigators in any matter. I don't want no emotionally immature, emotionally driven person being the head journalist or judge in a matter regarding someone else's livelihood. Just give a machine gun to a 5-year-old, why don't you? You people sound ridiculous. What we should do as a black people regarding the adversity and controversy of our world is encourage people to think critically and to seek as much information about a thing before they form a opinion, especially in situations where it's one person's word against another. All one can do is think critically about the information provided and at least make a well-informed wrong conclusion rather than jump to extreme conclusions and commitments out of heightened emotionalism and pseudo-heroism. Grow the fuck up and get over yourself. We can listen to victims and honor their experiences without forming a belief, while also respecting the person accused of such, especially when there's not substantial evidence to support the claims made. And living in a clout-chasing, attention-hungry, for no reason ass society, we all should be just as respectful to all persons involved, both the accused and the accusers, because until proven guilty, both parties should be treated as victims. Never help to send someone to hell without just cause. Never help to have someone's life disrupted and uprooted without just cause. It's unfair to treat Malik Yoba as someone who is already proven guilty, and it's also wrong to dismiss the allegations made by this trans woman. Malik has stated that the allegations aren't true, and if the trans woman insists that these things are true, those who already believe her should encourage her to press charges rather than seek the press to put out a story. For you so-called woke black folk champion this trans woman while disposing of the black man being accused, how the hell you gonna have two minority groups, a black trans woman and a heterosexual black man, and yet dismiss the nuance of the lack of privilege on both of their ends and choose a fucking side? That shit makes no fucking sense. In a society where there's white supremacy, white patriarch, and racism coupled with anti-blackness, I am in no position as a black man to participate in the unfounding social lynching and persecution of another black man until his sins have been proven true to cause. And as a queer black man, I am in no position to dismiss the treatment and experiences of other queer persons without due diligence in the seeking of truth and resolve, because in both cases, more times than not, neither party gets the proper social and judicial treatment they deserve and have a right to. Black people, encourage critical thinking in one another. Do not allow your ego to encourage you to force your opinions on others just because they choose to stand differently in a matter. And if you feel that pressed about how they're standing, then critique their views without degrading and damaging the person as a result. You can attack a point without attacking a person. It's very easy for those who are actually adults and who have some emotional intelligence and control. I'm out, bitch. So leave your comments below. Make sure you rate, comment, share, and subscribe. All donation information is in the description box below. I will see you guys in the comment section. Peace.